Hello, today we're going to be looking at a small steam engine that we built here in the garage. The engine moves a piston up and down in the cylinder. It's a two-cycle engine. The upstroke is powered by steam pressure and the downstroke is powered by atmospheric pressure. This is a small engine, so it's not real powerful. But the nice thing about this two-stroke arrangement is that we get power on both the upstroke and the downstroke. Our piston and cylinder actually started life as a 5 milliliter glass syringe. The body of the syringe is our cylinder, and the plunger from the syringe is our piston. The reason we chose glass is that glass on glass slides fairly easy without a whole lot of friction. We added some foam padding to the piston so that we don't break the cylinder on the downstroke. Of course, the main thing that a steam engine needs is steam. We use this pressure cooker as our boiler. We attach a tube to the top of the pressure cooker, and if we follow the tube down, we come to a set of solenoid valves. These valves control the flow of steam. The valve on the far left is our input valve. When the input valve is open, steam flows through this tubing up to the cylinder, and then the pressure from the steam pushes the piston up. To make sure that the piston doesn't go flying across the room on the upstroke, we added a stopper at the top of the piston stroke. And just for fun, we attached the stopper to a sound effect that sounds kind of like a steam whistle. So the way our downstroke works is we follow a different tube away from the cylinder to this solenoid valve here. This valve is our exhaust valve. This is how steam leaves the engine. If we look to the left of our exhaust valve, we see this big curlicue looking thing. This is our steam condenser. What happens here is that steam enters the condenser and is cooled by the air. The cooled steam condenses back into water. When steam condenses into water, it loses volume. And so what we end up with is a partial vacuum in our condenser. So the air pressure inside the condenser is lower than the atmospheric pressure or air pressure in the room. So what happens is when we open our exhaust valve, this atmospheric pressure in the room pushes down on our piston and moves it towards the vacuum. You can also think of it that the vacuum in the condenser pulled down on the piston. Either way, the result is the same. The downstroke is completed and the steam that was in the cylinder is now in the condenser. This steam will then cool, it'll condense into water, and maintain the partial vacuum in the condenser. The flow of steam in and out of the engine is controlled by these solenoid valves. The opening and closing of the valves is controlled by this little circuit board here. This is a basic flasher circuit, and what it does is to alternate between opening the input valve and the exhaust valve. When the green light's on, it means the input valve is open. When the white light's on, it means the exhaust valve is open. You'll note that they're never both open at the same time. We have a rather crude control panel to go along with our timer circuit. These knobs on the right allow us to control the amount of time that the input and exhaust valves stay open. The buttons and switches at the bottom of the panel allow us to run the engine manually. This is very helpful when we first start the engine. We have to run it manually for a few cycles until it gets its rhythm going, and we can switch it over to automatic mode. The only part of the engine we haven't talked about yet is this red thing here. This is a transfer pump, and we use it to prime the vacuum in our condenser when the engine first starts up. If you recall, the condenser has to have a partial vacuum in it in order for the downstroke to work. While the engine is running, this partial vacuum is created by steam condensing to water inside the condenser. However, when we first start up, there's no steam in the condenser, and so we have no vacuum. So we use this pump to pump some of the air out of the condenser and prime the vacuum in the condenser so the engine can start. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the steam engine. This is our first steam engine, and we plan to build some more in the future. When we do, we'll put out some more steam engine videos. Thanks again.